How Instagram ruined women. I would argue that women ruined women, but alright.
If one trend of 2023 shows how far we've fallen, it was the Barbie Botox. Named after the toy's signature long neck, the procedure spread like wildfire on Instagram after the release of the film. A series of injections to the trapezius muscles in the neck renders them unable to contract, which lowers your shoulders and makes your neck look slightly longer. Despite the risk of muscle paralysis and severe pain, thousands of people rushed out to get this hot new treatment. But this
Obviously they did. And if that sounds stupid and unreasonably dangerous to you, that's because you're a sane person.
This is a very recent phenomenon. No one did this in the past. No movie made people do this kind of thing. And that's when you realize that the Barbie Botox...
Now that's actually a lie. Movies have made people do this forever. Even before movies, when there was a book that was really, really hot, especially books for women about romance stories, where at the end someone deletes themselves, you know what happened? Self-deletion spiked. This has been happening for all of human history. And movies just make this so much bigger.
It's just the tip of a massive iceberg.
Bro, what are you doing, man? Why are you doing this?
I mean, she's doing stuff, that's for sure.
Massive iceberg, a trend that's hiding behind the surface. You see, the plastic surgery industry has been booming for years.
I wonder why.
Instagram and TikTok.
Literally Kim Kardashian. She is the singular one person to fail to completely normalize plastic surgery. It is insane.
Invasive procedures go in and out of fashion every month, as a young impressionable audience goes from one insecurity to another, fed to them by Instagram's algorithm. Meanwhile, celebrities and influencers work hand in hand with the industry, making promotional posts and boasting about...
Yeah, a lot of content creators, like, this is kind of like a thing that a lot of people might not know about, but a lot of content creators actually get basically sponsorships with like plastic surgery places, and like this even happens in Korea and stuff too.
When he says content creators, he doesn't actually mean typically YouTube. Well, YouTubers could if you're a specific type of YouTuber, but it's content creators, he means celebrities, not your average Twitch streamer. And by the way, this is super popular in Korea.
Obviously happens in Korea because they're like really big into plastic surgery, or South Korea is. And so like they'll go over there and have some shit done on them, and then they'll promote the place that they have it done, and so it's like kind of it's a win-win for them.
Their procedures and the results. As new procedures dip in and out of fashion, influencers target people's mental weaknesses and make a fortune drumming up clients for the industry. And now that plastic surgery is growing fastest among young adults looking to replicate the inhuman perfection they see on the app, it's time we really expose how Instagram is quite literally changing the face of the world. At the time,
well, it is. And also another thing is that one thing that people might not understand is that like what the difference between camera lenses are. For example, like how many of you guys have taken a picture, you've like looked in the mirror and you've like, oh, I look good. And then you take a picture with your phone and you say, wow, actually, you know what? Never mind. I look like a fucking ogre. Like it happens a lot, right? Why does that happen? It happens because of the camera lens. But people just don't know about that. Wide angle isn't flattering. Yeah, no, it's not generally, right? And so that's the thing, but people don't know about that because it's like a camera tech thing. So a lot of this, a lot of the fucked up things that people get into, they get into those things because they're just simply naive.
Some of it's
or they just don't.
Yeah. Some people don't think Instagram even has filters. I would argue that's probably bigger than camera lenses. You can apply a filter to everything nowadays. Jesus.
Know what they're talking about.
It's impossible to predict the rise of Instagram.
It's like especially bad for like girls with big noses, right? Because like a camera lens, like a phone camera lens will like emphasize that a lot. That's why girls hate, you know, like there's a lot of girls now that like get nose surgery.
Biggest social media apps in the world. But looking,
I think nose surgeries were one of the most popular thing even before all of this became completely normalized.
Back, it's easy to see that all the right ingredients were there for massive success. It all goes down to the founders Kevin Systrom and Mike Krieger. The pair originally met while studying at Stanford, and even before they had started their careers, they were being headhunted by the big names in tech. Kevin Systrom even turned down an internship at Facebook to spend time studying photography in Italy. Kevin would go on to intern at Audio.
What an idiot. Honestly, if you isolate that, what an idiot. Mark Zuckerberg is giving you probably, 200K position in his shitty company. Now I'm gonna go study photography in Italy. Holy man. If he did not succeed, he would regret that life choice for the rest of his days.
A small app which would later become Twitter, and afterwards he would then get headhunted by Google and worked there for 2 years.
Good for him.
Even after a short time in the industry, Kevin was frustrated. He had just been passed up for a promotion and was sick of the culture of the company, and went against all the original ideas of Silicon Valley. Kevin wanted to fully throw himself into a creative idea and exploit an opening in the market by building something of his own. Kevin knew his old college friend Mike was just as ambitious as he was, and so he thought he would explain his vision for a new app, something he would tell Forbes in an interview a few years later. Mike Krieger and I created Instagram because we wanted a way to communicate visually. We realized that we'd be taking all these photos with our iPhones that would sit on our camera roll, and it felt like they should be seen, not necessarily because they were good photos, but because a photo that no one sees isn't really that interesting.
Well, that's another big reason, is that like before we had Instagram, you really had like, I mean, you had like Photo Bucket, like in a few other like random websites. But the problem is that there wasn't really a following feature. So the big reason why, at least like how many of you guys have an Instagram, but you've never posted a picture on Instagram? Yeah, Flickr. Yeah, a lot of people, right? And so what do you...
Everyone has a stalker account on Facebook and Instagram. It's just real life, okay?
You use Instagram for? You use Instagram as like, it's like a Pokedex for girls. And so that's the way I use Instagram. I have a few posts on there I make since I make content. You know, it's like every once in a while I'll do that. But when was the last time I made a post on Instagram? Let me go and look and see for myself. Let's see.
Is his point that Instagram is just for women? Because it kind of is.
How do I even open up my account? I made a post in March 8th of 2023. And it says, I took this before I went to Dairy Queen. So that was over a year ago. But I go on Instagram every single day. It's crazy.
Yeah, that is kind of crazy. You'd think the OF subscriptions he has would be enough, but guess not.
The photo you take communicates something about a moment in time, a brief slice of time of where you were, who you were with, and what you were doing. And funnily enough, their idea would prove to be one of the most lucrative ideas of the 21st century. Kevin and Mike immediately got to work on Instagram,
Oh, and he's not lying about the lucrative part. Because you see, on every other platform, there is this magical thing called revenue sharing. On Instagram, that thing does not exist, baby, okay? On Instagram, you just post pictures and Instagram's not paying you anything for them.
Everything they had into this new app. And then just...
Yeah, like back then, like you didn't have like... Because Facebook was the only other platform you had. And like with a lot of these like people that you wanted to follow, like you want to follow some hot girl, like you don't want to see like her talking about like what she thinks about Obama. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, I just want to look at the pictures. And so like Instagram like filled a need that people didn't have then.
2 weeks, they had already secured $500,000 of funding from investors, and were starting to get it ready to launch.
I mean, that's what the video told us, that they saw a niche that's empty and then they filled it, yes.
To the public, but it still wasn't easy. It took the pair a year of work to get everything ready, but they still weren't prepared for what would happen next. Now, there was plenty of interest in the app, and they could tell this from the demos. And so as soon as they launched the app, within just the first week, Instagram had gained over 100,000 users.
Oh yeah, people love this. And also another reason why is because Instagram didn't require you to put in all of your personal information, and by 2010, this is almost 2011, people had begun to distrust Facebook and were becoming worried about giving their personal information, whereas like Instagram was just like you make an account, you post photos, and that's it. So like at the time, Instagram was like uniquely poised to be an incredible value for like a user.
Yeah, I'm gonna press X to doubt on that. Instagram is for uploading skimpy pictures in bikinis. I'm pretty sure these people don't really care about their data being sold and purchased and whatnot.
highest amount of users gained for any single social media app in history. The service for the app and the infrastructure wasn't enough to keep up with the massive influx of users. The new company that barely had anyone working for it had already far exceeded expectations, and so they would have to invest tons back in just to keep the app functional, with back-end tweets and more processing power. And so the first year was just a mad rush to keep up with the user base, with Kevin and Mike sacrificing everything in their lives to keep it afloat. But just when they thought they had gotten on top of the growth, there would be more crashes and more problems to deal with. But as time went—
Wait, I have a feeling I know this video. I have a feeling that we have watched a very, very similar video. And I have a feeling we watched it watched by Asmongold already.
Went on, and they streamlined the process. Their hard work was richly rewarded. You see, investors saw this and knew they had to get a piece of the pie. In less than 2 months after its launch, the app already hit 1 million
Probably
users,
a chart for like
and
homelessness.
Instagram was injected with $7 million of investor funding, particularly through System Silicon Valley connections. And users just loved how you could make your photos look so much better than other apps like Facebook. And the key here—
they had like the built-in filters. I forgot all about that. Yeah, the filters in Instagram, and this was like something that happened in like 2011. I feel like by 2014 or 15, people kind of moved away from putting like the heavy filters on. But in like 2012 and 2013,
man, this is a bunch of random, you know, he's talking like an Instagram historian. I am willing to bet money he's just pulling this out of his ass.
It was very common that people would like super filter their content and have like 2 or 3 filters on it or shit like that. Yeah.
I mean, it's still common now.
Like different color grading, etc.
Early on, to make up for the poor quality of smartphone cameras at the time, the introduction of various photo filters would prove revolutionary. With the touch of a button, users could iron out their wrinkles, cover up any blemishes, and transform their mundane experiences into picturesque moments. What was meant as a simple fix for the lacking technology of the time took on a life of its own. Filters gave Instagram an air of perfection and artistic expression that transcended the dull, boring—
Let me see if I have a—
Dude, the artistic expression is so on point. Literally more than half of all women at some point think that they're artists, or, you know, something like that. Photographers. I guess that also counts as an artist, right? Yeah, more than half of women at some point call themselves either artists or photographers or something like that. So Instagram making your shitty pictures good without any effort, in fact, now that is something that a part of the population desperately wanted in their life.
Single filter photo. I do, but this is one that somebody sent to me, so it's like, I'm not really sure if that really counts. Oh.
Okay, let me explain how wild women are with this photography shit, okay? This is absolutely just pure insanity, okay? So, women will go to photography studios to get just random pictures done of them because they want to feel special and like a supermodel. And this is how it works. It must be like a studio or something. You can say that, hey, my friend Carl has like a, you know, $50 million camera and whatever, and he's a professional and whatnot, and she's gonna be like, yeah, but this other photographer has an Instagram account with 5K followers and he's also gonna post it there, so, you know, that seems a little bit more professional. It is crazy. It is absolutely crazy how these decisions get made for photography for women. Wow.
Oh no, I think I have another. Yeah, I've done it twice.
How can you tell?
Other than that, no.
Photos your relatives
the J Schlatt filter? No.
Time. Although Kevin and Mike could never have foresaw what they had really created and how this would be used in the future. But at the same time that Kevin and Mike were building the photo app of the future, something else was going on. Other people were laying the groundwork for an entirely different way to push past the limits of natural beauty. Now, if you're going to blame anyone for the massive rise in plastic surgery, then you have to talk about people like the Kardashians. They were unique among celebrities at the time because they truly offered nothing.
Also, by the way, do you know what's the craziest part about the Kardashians? Well, first of all of their fame is literally from just one leaked sex tape that was done intentionally. 2, all of them are literally plastic at this point. And yet, they will argue that they have nothing done on them. It is crazy. Go find early photos of them and then go find modern day photos of them and just see how the bone structure is completely different.
They were unique among celebrities at the time because they truly offered nothing except for their image and their lifestyle. Coming to fame in 2007 after...
That wasn't new. Like, Paris Hilton did that before. Like, Paris Hilton walked so Kim Kardashian could run.
True.
Like, am I the only person that remembers all of the Paris Hilton shows in, like, the 2000s? What are we talking about?
I like Paris Hilton so much more.
This is nothing special with Kim Kardashian. Yeah, they were friends? Yeah, I know.
Viral sex tape, Kim and the gang went on to hold their 15 minutes of fame and stretched it out over multiple decades. Kim and her family's signature look exploded onto modern culture and still has an effect on beauty standards today. The modern world's obsession with full lips, big butts, and stenciled eyebrows is in large part thanks to them. Of course, the image they sold to the world so easily didn't really bear any relation to reality. First, as you can probably guess, there's all the cosmetic surgeries and procedures they've gone through to get there, then countless layers of makeup, professional photography, and Photoshop are added on. And out of thousands of those photos, only a select few are chosen to be shown to the public.
But if you're like a 12-year-old girl and you don't understand any of that because you're stupid because you're a 12-year-old girl, you're gonna see a picture of Kim Kardashian or like I don't know any of the other ones really, but like
I don't even think that is another one, honestly, at this point. I think it's just Kim Kardashian. Well, no, maybe there's like, I don't know, some kind of Nicki Minaj or something like that.
You're gonna see a picture of one of them and you're gonna be like, well, I don't look like that, I guess I should kill myself. That's what happens. It is, because they're stupid. They don't know the difference. And also this happens with guys too, right? It like, I mean, girls, I think it's worse with girls. It is. But like for guys, it's still a problem.
Rise of social media.
Yeah. What's a problem for one gender is typically a problem for the other one also. Maybe not to the same extent. Yes, this is how basic life functions.
This kind of deception was only available to the rich and famous. Even their own influence alone has a huge effect on the cosmetic surgery industry. When a 17-year-old Kylie Jenner boasted of getting lip fillers to achieve her signature look, online searches for the procedure went up by over 3,000%. The so-called Brazilian butt lift...
That is nuts. Getting that shit at 17 years old? Oh my god. For guys,
dude. I think it's again time for the story of that one girl I know. She went to my school. She was younger, and the moment she got 18, her father had a decent amount of money because, you know, he was a businessman. The moment she got 18, instantaneous work, you know, all of that stuff instantaneously. First day of 18, instantaneously. Bam. There you go. There you go. And obviously, she wants a rich man and all of the things that you would expect from this shit. But you know what's the funniest part about her? She has an Instagram. And when she was younger, you know, below 25-ish, you know, she had still great dreams. Her education is 5 times bigger than mine, okay? She has studied abroad. She has studied in multiple places that are, you know, actually prestigious. And, you know, at the end of the day, fucking knock on wood, baby. That's how dumb she is. Money does not buy smarts. But you know what's... That's not even the funny part. That's just the narrative. The truly funny part is this. She did all of these things. She did all of those procedures, everything, designer clothes, blah, blah, blah. And she wanted to make it big. And she thought she's really hot. Because obviously every woman that gets DM'd on Instagram 2 times a day, which is, by the way, almost every single one of them nowadays, thinks that they're hot shit. Again, even fat and ugly girls get DM'd on Instagram like 2 or 3 times a day about some guy wanting to have a little bit of fun time with them. And, you know, all of this obviously makes women think that they're absolutely amazing. That they are just the peak of the peaks. Well, they don't understand everyone else has it literally the same way as them. And she used to go to stores, designer stores, considering she had daddy's money. She would buy designer clothes and whatnot. And then she would upload Instagram pictures of them. And she would tag the things in hopes to become a model for them. Now, was she actually even close to what a model should look like? I don't know, arguable. No one knows. But the funny part is, she got pissed. she got pissed after a while and constantly just started going on these Spurg breakdowns about how she's hot and she needs to be a model for them because she's hot and she's good enough. Oh, man. Great stuff, great stuff. And at this point, she has completely forsaken all of her ideals and just found a rich guy who takes her to vacations every month. And now she's hashtag blessed and living the best life. Well, the guy is literally your stereotypical fat dude who's also living off of daddy's money. It is crazy. It is just... The world is wild, okay, at this level.
It's a bit different. Yeah, I mean, obviously for girls and guys it's different, but this is nuts. Like, I would even say that for guys. Like, the problem is that, like, if you're a girl... Like, yeah, you can get fit, but, like, a lot of the different things that, like, girls don't like about the way they look are, like, intrinsic things, like how big their boobs are. Or, like, you know, like the way their face looks, or, like, their chin or their nose. Where it's like, guys, I would say, like, 90% of guys, if you work out and you're in good shape, that's pretty much all you really need to do. Just do that. And you know, like, take care of yourself.
I don't understand what's the all you need to do part referring to, but okay.
Yourself a little bit. Just do that.
So going to the gym is just happiness? But that I would argue, no, this is stupid. One of the biggest problems for guys who go to the gym is the fact that, well, juicing exists, and it's now completely acceptable. Because the reality is, you go to a gym a year, 2 years, 3 years, you're gonna absolutely see no real drastic changes unless you're doing everything to the utmost extreme and, you know, spending like 6 to 7 days in the gym a week, okay? And drinking 15 protein shakes and all of that stuff. You're not gonna see any serious changes. But the guy who juiced just one time, man, he is gonna be 3 times as shredded as you, 5 times as big as you, and congratulations, that's where your true mental angst will start, most likely.
Procedures.
I feel like guys have like a, you know, it's like, it's easier and harder, right? Because, like, working out is a lot harder than just going to, like, a place and then having them, you know, cut part of your nose off, for example. But at the same time, you don't have to do that. I'd rather not have somebody do that to me.
Kim and her family. The procedure involves a surgeon taking fat deposits from elsewhere on the body and then transferring them to the buttocks.
By the way, this is actually one of the most dangerous surgeries. Brazilian butt lifts are actually... I think it's like, I don't know like what the percentage, I heard it was like 2.5% or something like that, of them could be fatal, but I think that could also be wrong, but...
Oh yeah, it is considered one of the most dangerous things, but it's considered one of the most dangerous things because people just go and do it at unlicensed doctors and whatnot, because, well, if you're doing it at a reputable place, well, congratulations, that's probably pretty expensive. But some rando dude who's gonna just inject you with a little bit of rat fat? Now, I can do that on a discount, you know what I'm saying?
It's a very, very high percentage.
In 2018, the amount of butt lift...
What's this BBL Drizzy? What is... I keep seeing this. I don't know what it is. What is that? It's a Drake versus Kendrick thing? Yeah, no, I know that, but like...
Oh god, I don't want to know anything about the Drake versus Kendrick thing. Both of them are irrelevant.
It's a long story? Okay, got it.
Has risen by over 250%. Over time, though, the procedures fades away and the results disappear, so regular procedures...
In a lot of cases, yeah, that's true. Like,
I'm pretty sure they found a way to, you know, make this permanent. It's no longer just, you know, actual real things. Now it's, you know, now it's Nicki Minaj things. When, you know, she sits, you can see her sitting on her ass. You know, she's not just sitting on her ass. She's literally sitting on her ass, which is kind of a crazy thing.
I know a number of girls that have had some of this stuff done. And
the only fans girls that you message for money do not count.
Honestly, I would never do this shit. Like, I'm gonna be real. Like, I even, like, that's the reason why I didn't even want to get a hair transplant. Like, even that was a bit too much for me. Like, that's scary. But yeah, this shit is extremely common. Like, there's a ton of girls that do OnlyFans that get this all the time. It is...
I'm pretty sure almost all of them almost do this at this point.
It's nuts whenever
Crazy.
I see how much this is. This is a nickname Drizzy has for Drake. Oh, I see. Kendrick says he has Brazilian butt lift as latest diss song. That's funny.
I would believe that, honestly. A lot of celebrity men get this, well, not to the same extremes, but man, you would be surprised probably how many celebrities actually get themselves fixed up and whatnot. It is popular.
Procedures are required to keep it up. Even the Kardashians themselves regretted the procedure in the end, with Kim recently admitting that she'd stopped having her top-ups. The procedure is massively popular, but also incredibly risky compared to other cosmetic surgery. When it goes wrong, people can get nasty infections and sometimes require surgery to remove the implants. Or if
the reason why also is because, like, the recovery process for this, I know a lot about this. The recovery process for this is, like, a matter of like a good number of months where you literally cannot sit down and you have to like sleep on your stomach and shit like that. It is crazy the amount of things that you need to do in order for this to actually work.
A top off probably isn't that bad, but it probably still requires you to do it to a certain extent.
It's fucked up. Yeah, it is.
That gets into the bloodstream, it can actually cause embolisms and blockages to vital organs.
To the butts, yeah, exactly.
1 in every
Weeks,
4,000 people die as a result of the complications, which is what led to the UK banning it in 2018. Eventually, they reversed the decision in 2022 after...
Why ban it? All of these surgeries, all of these things, is the same as, you know, just having your pronouns in your Twitter bio. We know who to avoid. I think it's a good thing.
Bringing in new safety regulations, but there's still a whole world of unlicensed practitioners performing a different version.
Bro, look at this guy, okay? Look at him. This guy's also not natural, okay? You know what's the craziest thing? A doctor is actually supposed to, like, talk to you and, you know, do you really want to do this, blah, blah, blah? Do you think this is the best? What's your motivation behind this? You know, they're supposed to figure out if this is actually what they want, and, you know, they're not supposed to just give people this shit at random. But when you have a guy like this, he's like, okay, we're gonna do you a triple, actually. Not just a single one, but a triple right off the bat. Yeah, this is abuse.
Version of the procedure.
Oh
While
my
they're not
God.
allowed to perform the surgical version with the potentially fatal side effects, they're still allowed to blindly inject people with artificial substances. It's not like
Hell
the UK's
yeah.
ban really did anything anyway. The people who were determined enough to get it done
just
were
moved.
freely able
Yeah,
to
they just go somewhere
abroad
else.
to places like
Yeah.
Turkey or Mexico,
Yep.
where the procedure is completely legal. And
Turkey is, by the way, extremely well known for making boobs. Man, if you want to go to a place and get your boobs done, Turkey is the place. Everything else is cheap, okay? Everything else is bad.
It's
often
also a lot
mostly
cheaper.
unregulated and far cheaper. Even today,
Yeah.
there's countless adverts for this.
There's a lot of girls that go to South Korea for it too, for obvious reasons.
All over Facebook and Instagram. But nothing has promoted plastic surgery and made the world more plastic and fake than it's ever been, like Instagram. The Kardashians might have remained in the background for most people, ending up as has-been stars like so many before them. But instead, their recipe for success based on their looks and their status alone was about to go global.
Well, it's because they're hot. Like, that's the reason why.
Yeah, I mean, it's true. Maybe you don't want to actually be with any one of them, but you would probably tap that just for fun one time. Kind of powerful.
I mean, like, what are we talking about? That's obviously the reason why. Like, duh. Like,
That was all thanks to Instagram. But how did an innocent photo sharing website become
Are they
a
though? A
money-making
lot of people
machine
think
it is
so.
today?
Yeah, maybe you
The
might not,
answer
but a lot
is
of people
Mark
do.
Zuckerberg. You see, Zuck's vision for a social media business was a lot different compared to Kevin Systrom or Mike Cross.
Oh yeah, these two guys were actually we're not gonna do the super invasive things, but then Zuck and Cuck came in and bought them, and, you know, well, you can imagine the rest probably at this point, right?
Yeah.
While they were thinking about how to make money from people's photos, Mark was interested in commodifying the people instead. Even before Mark started Facebook, he had already demonstrated his truth.
Wait, I didn't hear what he said, but he was clearly wrong by that expression.
Or Mike Krieger.
Yeah.
While they were thinking about how to make money from people's photos, Mark was interested in commodifying the people instead.
He said date and he did not say data. Oh no.
Before Mark...
Man, look how instantaneously sad I was wrong. Yeah, bro. Also, not having the spine to say also data is the big one is just okay, because data is a big one. Mark's selling all your data from everywhere.
Started Facebook, he had already demonstrated his true feelings
becoming this sad just because he didn't say what you did. Pathetic.
Towards his users.
By the way, Mark Zuckerberg called people who handed over their data dumb fucks. Okay, based. True and based and real. He was right. He was fucking right.
Rejected that the film The Social Network was true in his account of his website FaceMash.
Right, like they just can't wrap their head around the idea that someone might build something because they like building things.
The evidence shows that it wasn't that far off. Articles from Harvard newspapers show how he plundered Harvard's registers for pictures of people's faces. He then used these to create a website where people could rank each other on attractiveness, while the backend—
I mean, like...
Ooh. Interesting.
Is this really supposed to be like some kind of fucking expose? A college guy made a website to rate girls? It's the right one, by the way. This one's way hotter.
Yeah, that's
It's obvious. Is this really? Yeah, it's 2, right? Yeah, 100%. Like, what do you mean?
And secretly assigned them their own rating out of 10.
Yeah,
While it was quickly shut down, the stunt informed the future development of Facebook to a massive degree. Facebook did the same thing in turning its users into the product, just in a more sinister way. It was all about maximizing engagement for users, whilst plunging—
that's boring though. Man, this goes on for a long time.
Crazy fucked up.
Yeah, you see? How Instagram changed women. Oh no, that's the same video. Is this the same person? I would assume maybe it is. Who knows? But again, yeah, you can see this everywhere. Anyway, I'm done. Bye-bye.